And welcome back to the Southern Scene. Well, she's a local author and motivational speaker, and she has quite a compelling story. And she joins us now on the Southern Scene, and we're so glad to have her here. Thanks so much for joining us, Jenny Lynn.
Thank you, Natalie.
Jenny Lynn Anderson, of course, has written the book Room 939, 15 Minutes of Horror, 20 Years of Healing. And if you haven't picked up this book off of the bookshelves, now's the time to do it, because if you want to read a truly compelling story and a true story of healing, this is the book for you. Jenny Lynn, you've really lived through a lot. Let's talk about you. I mean, you're right up the road. I live right up the road in Statesboro.
Yeah.
I mean, we're in Savannah, so give me a little bit about your background.
Okay, well, I live in Statesboro. Grew up and went to Georgia Southern College, where I graduated with a public relations degree. I lived in Atlanta for a few years, and I came back to Statesboro in 1990 as PR director for Willingway Hospital. And I have a husband and two wonderful daughters, Morgan and Allison. My husband's Mark, and you know our family, and so
I grew up in Bullitt County as well. But I remember you as just so vivacious and a true leader. I mean, I think you were co-captain of the cheerleading squad, but your life changed a lot after you had, a particular instance happen to you. Can you tell me a little bit about your story?
I think about my career in PR, and I had worked in Atlanta in public relations at the Georgia World Congress Center, and I loved what I was doing. I loved marketing and public relations, and at the time when this happened, my sexual assault, I was actually the PR director for Willingway Hospital, and I was on a business trip. And before this happened, I would just say that I always felt like I was an independent woman. I was the daughter of Judge Faye Sanders Martin, and I was raised to believe that I could do anything that I'd ever put my mind to.
A lot of us know your mom and has always been a very, very strong woman.
Yeah, she was a role model. I mean, she was a trailblazer, and my sister Jana and I believed that we could do most anything because our mother had, like so many people do. I was at a business conference, and I was in a downtown Atlanta hotel. And the game plan was this: we were going to go back to our hotel rooms, freshen up, and I was to meet my marketing director and a trade magazine editor in the lobby at 8 o'clock. And I was going to do what I love to do, is pitch story ideas to this man. And I was just thinking about this when I was exiting my hotel room, room 939. My room 939, was the last door at the end of the hall.
You were inside the hallway. It was an inner hotel.
Yes, it was. It was a major hotel with an inside corridor. And so, I was exiting my hotel room, had my pocketbook slung over my shoulder. So I was ready to go. I was ready to go to have that business meeting. And I felt quite secure. And as I exited my room, I was a few feet away, and a man approached me, and really I didn't think anything. We talk about women's intuition, but nothing really went off in my head. But this man suddenly came over to my side of the hallway, and he grabbed me. And, just to tell the audience of who I was, the first thing that went through my mind when he grabbed me was, "You have got to be kidding. I am on my way to a meeting." And I took him on. I screamed so loudly that I later heard through police reports that hotel guests came out of their rooms, and I fought him. And then, Natalie, everything changed when he pulled the knife to my neck.
So that weakened you at that moment.
It did.
You felt powerful until you saw the knife.
I did. And he put the knife to my neck. He just immediately said, "If you don't shut up, I'm going to kill you." And he forced me by knife point back to my hotel room. He repeatedly told me that he was going to kill me unless I opened that door.
I can't imagine being in that position, being a woman in Atlanta, where you were forced back into your hotel room. I mean, what was going through your mind?
I felt defeat. I really knew that he was going to kill me. I felt the moment he got me to that doorway and I stepped inside, I really thought that I was going to die.
You thought about, what about so many thoughts going on in your mind, and that is even debilitating at that moment.
It is, but I tell women all the time, I kept my mind clear, and I did want to survive. And I thought immediately, I've got to figure out a way out of this room. But two things happened in that room. I was robbed and sexually assaulted. And after he robbed me, he just repeatedly kept telling me, "I'm going to rape you." And he was quite firm. He was very intent on telling me what he was going to do. I did what most women would do. I begged him not to do that. And I just didn't want to take my clothes off. You know, I decided either, Jenny Lynn, you're going to live or you're going to die. And I chose life. But in that, even though he was doing this to me and he sodomized me, I kept thinking, and I prayed to God, even though I didn't have a relationship with him at the time, I prayed to God to save me. And I tricked him into believing that my boss was coming back to my hotel room. And so I tell women, men can overpower us, but we can use our brains.
That's
and
exactly
I
right.
outsmarted him.
And that's what you did. And what was his reaction?
Well, I could tell he was getting worried, and he got off the bed and he went to the door and he opened it ever so slightly. And in that crack, the light came in from the hallway, and my eyes met upon the eyes of a housekeeper. And in that moment, I thought, "Dear God, you have saved me." And I started screaming to the top of my lungs, "He's raping me, he's going to kill me." And the man fled out of the hotel room, down the emergency staircase, and they never caught him.
So he's never been seen again.
No.
If you'd like more information on Jenny Lynn Anderson and her book, and if you're going through something in your own life, maybe you've had some type of obstacle that has touched your life, some type of trials or tribulation, you're going through something that you feel like you need that motivation to get through that next day, send us a message here on The Southern Scene. We'll put you in contact with Jenny Lynn. You can also visit her website. You can see it right there on your screen. You can also visit our website and our Facebook page. Don't go away. We'll be back with more of The Southern Scene right after this. Stay with us.